Dun, 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 dun. Hey. Okay. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jamarty4 here once again. And I know it's been like a smooth, week? Since I did this recording for these animated horror stories, child. But I have since blah 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 blah. I apparently can't speak English, child. I have noticed that the viewership for this series has slowly increased, and I am so proud. Usually you know, this is something I wanted to do for my enjoyment that I was hoping would catch on. And even though it took a while, it's starting to slowly catch on. A lot of people are watching it, a lot of people are requesting it, so that makes me very, very happy. So, we're gonna start off because Llama Arts, the main channel that I used to do these recordings with, uploaded a new video recently that we're going to watch. The Horn-Headed Man, child. I saw the thumbnail for this. I said, no, ma'am. First of all, y'all know horns and stuff make me think of Lucifer and goddamn Krampus. So, so already I'm apprehensive, but we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Thank y'all so much for watching. Shout out to everybody who enjoys these videos, and let's go ahead and get started, child. Ooh, if it would play.
Moonlight peered through my
Okay.
window as I jolted awake. My clamorous breaths disturbed the silence of my dark room. I had just come out of a frightful dream that had me thinking it was all too real. With sweat on my brow, I sat up and grabbed my water from the nightstand and took a sip from the now warmed glass. My hands shook as I recounted my nightmare of the horn-headed man. In my dream, I was walking through my neighborhood, the streetlights flickering as I made my way down the uninhabited sidewalk. Nothing threatening, just a walk through the midnight hours. A block down, I could see a figure in the distance, walking slowly towards me. His steps seemed mismatched and labored. He passed a few
Girl,
houses looking straight ahead.
look at his feet, child. They walking all bloody and shit. You know he got them goddamn bunions, child.
Neither looking left nor right, his head was fixed on the sidewalk in front of him. As I was getting closer to my home, I could see him slowly starting to embark on my territory. I quickly rushed to my front door and hurried inside. Through my window,
Ooh.
I could see him walk past my property. I was thinking to myself, oh God, please have him keep going, please. He was just about to walk all the way past my front yard when he stopped. His body almost shifted abnormally as he turned to face my home. He just stood there, looking,
Oh no, ma'am.
not moving, just standing there. The man bore the horned head of a skeleton.
And you just standing there in the window in plain view like a dummy. You supposed to be peeping from the side. Child, girl.
A little goat. His body was pale and looked fragile, and his fingers were thin and bony. I thought to myself, what does he want? Slowly,
Who
he
cares?
started lifting a quivering arm and pointed right at me. I
Bitch.
started to backpedal into the darkness of my house, when all of a sudden he let out an inhuman screech. That's when I woke up. Too
Oh?
frightened to go back to bed, I turned on the television and saw that the local news for early risers was on. My stomach dropped, and my body suddenly turned cold as I listened to the current news report. The news anchor on the television said, "Breaking news. A woman who lived on Columbia Avenue has been murdered. Local officials say that they received an anonymous phone call from the victim's home. We arrived at the house at around 12:20, and we saw the victim inside in a card which rested next to her." The sheriff held up the card. On the back of it, I could see the image of the horn-headed man. The officer started to read. one down. Slowly I go. He then lifted his head back up. His
What?
blood started trickling from his eyes and mouth. I sat
Hello?
there shaking, and I couldn't breathe. Columbia's just 3 blocks away from me. I jumped out of my bed and ran to my window. Something within me made me want to look outside. That's when I saw him.
Bitch.
He
Ooh.
just stood there, looking, not moving, just looking. The horn-headed man, his body pale and fragile, and his fingers thin and bony.
Oh, hell, girl. That's the act of Lucifer. You saw how his eyeballs rolled in the back of his head? That's not of the Lord. That's not of the Lord at all. Shit. Okay, so I'm actually going to move on to continuation of one of the other YouTube video tabs that I have up. So we're going to pause right here and be right back. Hey! So we are at Chilling Tutor Horror Story. Lord, I ain't never really been too fond of the ideas of tutors because when I'm thinking about my child being alone with somebody that's older than them, somewhere alone. I mean, they don't have to be alone, but I don't know. People are pers, and I just don't got time. Ooh, can we
This
not?
happened to a friend of mine. She told me about it about a year or so ago. We'll call her Minji. Minji is in her late 20s and works as an English tutor in South Korea. One evening, a few years ago, she was tutoring a high school boy. They were up studying pretty late, and the buses stopped running. Being a long way from his house, the boy asked if he could crash on her floor overnight and get the first bus in the morning.
Oh, hold on.
Minji was very reluctant because inviting a teenage male student to stay the night didn't sound like a great idea.
It wasn't.
But he was begging her, and eventually she relented.
Call an Uber.
They went back into her one-room apartment, and she got into the bed while he laid a blanket out
No,
on the
sir, no. I don't know you. I'm just teaching you English, child. I'm not about to let you stay in my house. I don't know you like that. Don't do what homegirl right here is doing. Cause especially if you a woman. I mean, even though I know you older than him significantly, it still don't stop him from, we'll just say, misbehaving. Cause I feel like YouTube is gonna flag the other word. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
floor, and they both fell asleep. A few hours later,
What the?
at maybe 2 a.m., the boy wakes Minji up. "I'm really hungry," he says. "Let's go get some food." Minji opens her eyes and looks up at him in disbelief. "Food? Now? It's 2 a.m. Go back to bed." But the student insists. "No, I'm so hungry. Let's eat something now." She tells him that there's some ramen in the kitchen and he could fix himself.
First of all, I know damn well you did not wake me up out of my good sleep to tell me that you're hungry, bitch. I mean, okay, let me ask y'all this. Answer this in the comments. If you were her, first of all, I would never have a stranger in my house, but let's just get that clear. But if you were her, would you have felt a type of way about him going into your cabin or your fridge or whatever, getting him something to eat? Or would you actually get up and go get them something to eat? Because I'm like, I know you did not wake me up at 2 a.m. when you could just go down there and fix yourself something to eat. And then just kind of told me later, like, hey, I got really hungry in the middle of the night and, I didn't want to wake you up. So I made you like a bowl of cereal or something. Don't go in there and make you like a full plate, but get you like a bowl of cereal, a snack, or just go drink some water. Water will kill an appetite in the middle of the night. So, but you doing what you doing right now, and I don't know you. Shit, I would barely let my friends do this, child.
This doesn't satisfy him. He doesn't want ramen. There's a 24-hour place just down the road. Let's go there.
Walk.
Eventually, after several minutes of persuasion, the boy gets Minji to come with him to the restaurant. They leave the apartment and head out. As soon as they're on the street, the boy turns to Minji and says, "I'm not hungry. I woke up in the middle of the night and looked under your bed.
What?
There's a man sleeping there."
bitch. I did not expect that. Yo, I did not expect that. I'm sitting up here thinking like he's like a creeper and he's doing something, but he actually low-key tried to save her. Yo. You know what? I take back everything I said, at least up until this point. I take back everything I said. Thank you, sir.
They called the police and discovered that a homeless man had been living in Minji's apartment, sleeping under the bed for 2 months.
2 months?
The boy only saw him because he was lying on the floor, so he had a clear view under the bed.
What? How did you not notice there was a homeless man in your house for 2 months? Did you not notice the smell? Did you not wake up in the night and hear somebody else snoring and beneath? Oh, girl. Oh, child. You must be a hard sleeper. Now, how? Never mind. I ain't even gonna dive too far into it. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next story, child. I think I'm gonna start a new what do you call it? Collab, not a collab, but a compilation. There it is. Compilation video on a different channel. So I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. And ooh, child, the sound from my backyard, girl.
There was a time my parents went on a trip to Europe. I was taking care of their house. I was home for the summer from school anyway, so it was fine. I had been there for a few weeks and it was pretty quiet. I just went to work, came home, had some time with my friend, enjoying the house to ourselves and whatnot. But one night, I was just laying there watching TV. I heard this really weird, low whistling sound coming from the window that was behind the couch. It struck me as sort of odd, and I just shrugged it off. But then it happened again. It totally sounded like it was a person standing up against the window whistling. I looked out the window and obviously there was no one there. So I figured I should go check it out. If it was something like the wind on the siding, I should probably fix it because that would get annoying. So I walked out into the backyard.
No. 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 Even if I did decide to go out there and maybe investigate, which is still highly unlikely, child, I'm not going out there just barefoot with no weapon, just in case it's some bullshit. I need to be what? Prepared.
The backyard in my parents' house is really pretty. It's sparse, but sort of forest that leads to a road on the other side. So I looked at the house and didn't see anything. But then I heard the sound again. It was coming from the woods in the back.
Nope.
I was pretty creeped out at this point, and of course I couldn't see anything in the woods. So I hurried back through the door and I locked it behind me. I never really heard that sound again for the next few days. Until one night, I was asleep in my room, and I could have sworn I was awakened by the whistling sound against my second floor window.
Oh.
I listened hard, and it was dead silent. So I decided I should go ahead and look out the window. I did.
Oh, girl. Oh, girl. Girl. I don't want to do it. Because I know I'm about to see some snag tooth, old, decrepit ass, old woman or some shit. Girl.
That whole thing where I crept super slowly towards it and just sort of peeked through it. Outside my window, there was a man just standing there. I was really sleepy, so I can't know how much of this I'm misremembering. But he was just sitting there staring at me. I was complete.
Fuck that. That looked like a big ass lumberjack child. Oh no, oh, Jesus.
Completely frozen, and slowly, the man pursed his lips, and I could hear that whistle again. It was crystal clear. It made me feel like crying. I tore myself away from the window and I hid under my covers. The next night, I insisted that my friend stay with me. He did. And of course, nothing happened.
What?
He figured that I was just tired and delirious, and maybe I was right. It gets kind of anticlimactic here, but I didn't hear it for another week or so. And when I did, it was just one small whistle, just happening randomly, coming from a wall or something like that. It just happens every week or so.
What?
And it always freaks me out tremendously. To this day, I would never stay in that house alone anymore.
Oh. Girl. Girl, I don't think so. I don't motherfucking think so. Shit, having lumberjacks whistling, that's not of the Lord. I can't. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. I gotta let this ad play on this real quick and we'll be right back. Okay. So we're back with True Girlfriend Horror Story. Child. This is why I don't date women.
This happened 2 years ago. My name is James, and my girlfriend at the time was Susie. Susie and I got into an argument about a girl who was just texting me about the edibles. The girl just wanted to know who had edibles and the prices on them. I remember I used the bathroom, and after I came back to the living room, I saw Susie on my phone and she looked angry. She started asking questions about the girl. You know, regular questions. Am I cheating on her? Is she pretty? The most disturbing one was, if she was right here, right now, would I kiss her or my girlfriend? That was the PG version of what she really asked.
Bitch, what? If she was here, right now, would you screw her or would you screw me? Like, if somebody tells you that or asks you some shit like that, it doesn't matter what you say because you're going to be wrong. If you say, oh no, baby, it would only be you. You're only saying that, no, you're only saying that because you know that you would piss me off if you said the other girl. And it's like, okay, well, let me just say the other girl. Oh my God, you actually would do that? You're a son of a bitch. You know, it would just be a lose-lose situation. Don't go looking if you don't want to find nothing. Once you have to start looking through the phone, the trust is over. The relationship is primarily on its way out the door. Because otherwise, especially in the age of social media, insecurities can just run amok.
I told her she texted me about edibles, and besides that, the girl doesn't even like guys. But I don't think my girlfriend knew that. So we continued to argue for about 20 minutes.
Not her getting mad over a lesbian girl.
I started to say this is stupid, and I remember looking at the clock and it was 11 p.m. Since she was staying over that night, I told her we should just stop fighting and try to get some sleep or watch a movie. We agreed and turned on a movie. We were watching Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. As we were watching the movie, I noticed she was on her phone typing fast and just really involved in her phone. Every time I leaned in a little closer to see what was going on, she would always move her phone away and just give me a cold shoulder. We continued watching the movie until I heard somebody at my door. I said, I wonder who that could be at this time. Again, I looked at the clock, and now it was 1 a.m. My mom was...
Why do I feel like this crazy hoe just like called her brother or her uncle or somebody crazy to come and beat him up? Or did she try to call the girl? Did she like snag the girlfriend's number and like call her over there to prove that he would want to be with her and not the other one? I don't know. Let's see what crazy, because I know this is her. I'm certain this is her wrongdoing.
Was in her room sleep, but after she heard the doorbell, she woke up asking who that was. I told her I didn't know, but I was going to find out. So as I started going to the door, I heard whispering from my girlfriend, like she was on the phone or something. I didn't really pay attention to it, so I finally got to the door and I looked through the peephole. I was met with some tall dude wearing mostly all black.
See?
I talk to him through the door, and I ask him, "What do you want?" He replies with, "I'm just here to drop off a package. Sorry I'm late." And I was thinking, who delivers a package at 1 in the morning? So I told him to leave, and he could come back some other time to deliver the package. He said no, in a deep, commanding voice. Just in that moment, my ex-girlfriend Susie comes walking towards me with a grin on her face. She says to me, "So you're really not going to tell me who that girl was texting you?" I explained that she wasn't anybody, and I didn't know her like that. And this is the wrong time to be asking me a question like that when there's somebody at the door I didn't know. Till this day, what she said still gives me the chills just thinking about it. She said, "The guy at the door, he's here to get rid of you."
What?
At first, I gave out a nervous laugh and said, "That's not funny." She said, "Yeah, it is. Well, at least for me it is."
Girl,
As
what?
this was going on, the guy at the door kept messing with the door handle, trying to get in. So I was leaning up against the door, preventing him to come in. As I looked behind me, Susie was gone. A few seconds later, she comes back with a knife and said, "Either he's going to get you or I will."
All right, Susan. I want you to know that it is you who put up this ultimatum, girl. You are in my house, pulling my knife on me, talking about some, it's either he gonna get you or you gonna get me. Well, girl, guess what? He's still locked out for right now. And so far, I'm almost positive, unless you some type of superwoman, I feel like I could take you out if I so decide to do so. And I don't know if my mama or whomever that was, I want to say that was his mom, is somewhere nearby to kind of witness and see all this go down. It's about to be me and you. I'm kicking your ass. I don't want to indulge violence, especially don't want to indulge violence towards women. But if you come to me with a knife and if you tell somebody to come and they about to come and kill me, like, yeah, it doesn't even matter who you are. It's boop 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 boop. Like it's over. And I should be in my right to do so. You in my house with a knife? Look what you want me to do, girl. I hope that he does what needs to be done.
I started flipping out and thinking, what am I going to do?
Kick her ass.
I can't die right here. Just in that moment, I heard a commanding voice saying, "Back away from the door or we'll shoot." I thought to myself, what the fuck? So I swung open the door, and there was the police. One of the police officers told Susie to drop the knife because when I took my eyes off of her and I opened the door, she was right behind me, like literally right behind me. But the officer saying that must have scared her, and she dropped the knife immediately. Apparently, while all this was going on, my mom called the cops and explained the situation.
Come on, black mamas. Let me tell you, us black mamas be knowing how to take care of their own children, I tell you. Mama was on it, baby. She ain't make no fuss. She just calmly called the police. She was like, this crazy bitch is in my house trying to attack my child. I don't think so.
The best she could. She pretended to be asleep so she wouldn't cause attention to herself and could get help as fast as she could. The police arrested both of them and took them to the station.
Yes, black mama.
Apparently the guy that was there was her cousin. And the whole time the movie was playing, she was texting him, telling him to come over and quote unquote, deal with me. I'm just happy that I'm still here today. My mom saved my life. I don't even want to imagine what they would have done with me.
Come on, mama. Yes. Oh, child. Okay, so we're about to get ready to do another ad. And I think the next one that we do will be the last one of this video. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching, and we'll wrap this up. All right, so for our last one, we're going to do the sleepover horror story. Now, this reminds me of, I don't know if that was the last video or the video before, where y'all remember the old girl that came by the house and asked to sleep over, and and he woke up and saw her staring in the corner and shit, and then she decided to wake up in the middle of the night and try to stab him in the neck or some shit like that. Yeah, that's what makes me think of this. So if this about to be some more shit like that, girl.
My name is Kevin. This story took place 7 years ago when I was 13.
Hi, Kevin.
I had a sleepover at my friend Paul's house one night. This wasn't the first time we had a sleepover. What we would do is play video games until around 11 p.m. Then we would start trolling people on Facebook. And this night was no different.
I'm not trolling people on Facebook.
Paul and I spent the evening eating McDonald's, playing video games, and watching scary movies up until around 10:30.
Bitch, not them watching the movie we just saw. Or the story we just saw, The Whistling Man. Child. Come on, breaking the fourth wall.
30 p.m. when we logged into Facebook using a fake account we created. It would send messages to people we knew. We came across one guy who lived in our area whose name was Frank. He was a black dude, buff, and had tattoos.
Ooh.
For some reason, we thought it would be funny to prank call him as his phone number was listed in his bio. We had a ring.
That man, you said he lives in the area and you gonna prank him when he's big and got all the muscles and tattoos? Child. People who put their phone number on social media, that means that they ain't afraid. That means they about that life.
Twice before he picked up. He picked up with a firm, yeah. Paul made a joke about Frank and his appearance, and we both were laughing. Frank then started cursing and yelling, and we hung up the phone laughing our heads off.
You hoes didn't dial *69, did you?
The rest of the night, we made more prank calls and commented childish things on people's accounts. I think it was around 1 a.m. or something. Me and Paul were getting tired while watching a movie, and then we received a text from an unknown number. I asked who was that, and it said, "That's so funny," with a picture attached to it. After examining the picture properly, we saw it was a street sign that wasn't far from Paul's house. We both looked at each other, scared and confused. "What if they come to my house?" Paul asked. I tried to calm him down and think rationally. He wasn't at his house, only nearby. Maybe he is only guessing where we are to freak us out a bit.
Bitch!
We carried on watching the movie, hoping the phone wouldn't go off again. About 10 minutes later, however, we received another text without a picture this time, and it read, "Look outside."
Oh!
Me and Paul froze in fear. I remember being so afraid to even move. The lights were off, so you couldn't see us from outside. So I got the courage to take a sneaky look through the blinds. I couldn't see anyone, not even a car. After scanning the street properly, I said, "Paul, there's no one out there." He checked as well. I told him it was probably just a text to scare us. He doesn't know where our house is exactly, like I said earlier. It didn't leave our minds, but we started to calm down a bit. Plus, we didn't receive a text message for a while now. And about an hour later, me and Paul went downstairs to make some noodles. As we were cooking, we get a phone call from an unknown number. Of course, it had to be that guy who had been texting us. I said don't answer. The phone stopped ringing. Paul then texted the number saying, "I'm sorry if we upset you, but it was..."
It's too late now, Paul, whatever your name is. You shouldn't have been ignorant and calling people in the first place because you don't know if people are crazy. Okay, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know." Well, you shouldn't have did it. Hell. Shit.
Just a prank. The next thing that happened was the scariest thing I've ever experienced. A phone lit up just outside the kitchen window from the backyard.
Ooh.
And a very large man was standing there looking at us. It was Frank.
Ooh.
He looked so angry.
Frank said, "Y'all got the wrong one tonight." Frank said, I have time, I have time, I have time. Girl, secretly, hey Frank, I know you crazy and deranged and all, but that boy though, looking kind of nice. You know, you could keep the crazy and keep that boy. I'm just saying.
Angry and held up a large knife and made a huge scratch into the window to where our necks were.
Ooh,
We jumped out of our skin, screamed, and ran upstairs to Paul's parents. We told them there was a man outside. They came down and checked the backyard and Frank was gone. We didn't tell the whole truth as we were afraid of getting in trouble. I don't think we slept the whole night. We still had sleepovers at Paul's house, but we never pranked or trolled anyone again. We also didn't hear anything from Frank, but we didn't need to. We got the message.
first of all, Frank, let me tell you this. Had that been me and your stupid ass was out there still over there pranking people, calling people, doing all that other ish, I'm not coming back over there. I don't need to. I'm not going anywhere near that vicinity where some crazy man was about to come with me with a knife. Nope. I'm just saying. Wouldn't have been me. But this was fun. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Be sure to share this amongst all your friends. I'm starting to see like a lot of people talk about they watch this. Some of y'all be watching these before y'all go to bed, which is very strange. And y'all find it calming somehow. Well, be that as it may, I'm glad that I'm able to give you content that you enjoy nonetheless. I really do appreciate. Ooh, excuse me, child, I'm burping. Ooh, I had Popeye's chicken earlier. Uh, but yeah. Ooh, girl, can I finish my outro, child, please? Girl. Thank y'all again so much for watching, and I really appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!